Okay, so as far as pre-planning for this achievement goes, you don't have to be too specific, but do remember you're going to be going loud, so you're going to be holding off the cops for a reasonable amount of time. That is why we chose to pick up the doctor's bag and the ammo bag. They may be interchangeable where you place them, but I advise you put them near the main vault hall. Next up, we picked up the time lock glitch routine, just to speed up the whole process. This really isn't anything but a time saver. The zip line is pretty much the same. It will allow you to multitask a little easier as far as going up and maintaining up to the top to drop the beast down, that is, and to maintain the civilian in place. Finally, the key box was just we had two more favors, probably the least important of the favors to get this achievement. That is only going to help you later on if you choose to take the loot with you. So that is it for the pre-planning of this mission. As far as loadouts are concerned, and indeed perks, there's no real specific requirement. I'm going to advise you guys have ECM overdrive, especially if you're the one doing the stealthier part in this mission, and also you pick up as low a concealment as possible. This is mine. You guys go with your favorites. Because I haven't already, I would like to welcome you all to the Backing Bobblehead Bob achievement guide that I've put together, and also apologise for a couple of the issues within this video and the recording, mainly within Camtasia, and then I will talk you through each and every stage as it happens. So first of all, as far as recording problems go, the first half of this gameplay is going to be slightly different. First of all, it has a mouse on it. This is Camtasia, it's inconsistent, and I'm sure there's something I can do about it, and I will endeavour to keep that away from occurring in the future. Second of all, the gameplay is going to be jumping around a lot. I hope you don't mind that. I'm just going to try it out and see if I can be a little more concise and specific when doing a tutorial, and of course that's also why it's post-commentary. And finally, this is, like I said, split in two parts. There's going to be a co-op part and a solo part. That's because I lost the first part of the footage for the co-op part, thanks to Camtasia, and therefore I just wanted to show it in the easiest way I possibly could. So, what you have to do when you pick up on this mission, I would advise that you bring along minimum 2 people, because you really need a babysitter for old Bobblehead Bob. And also someone to go through the motions. Now, your babysitter you want to be heavily armoured, and your I'll call him activities man should be more prepared for stealth, and that's what you see me doing here. When we were doing it co-op, as you'll see later, we obviously use the actual technique to find which computer's the right one. Something pops up on screen, it makes a loud noise. But when I soloed it, I just sort of worked my way through each and every computer until I got the right one, and at which point I will start up time lock. Again, remaining in stealth for as long as possible, just to cut down on the time you're going to spend doing things. Also, doing this mission on normal is really going to help you out, because you do have to go loud, and especially if you're limiting yourself to 1 or 2 players, you're just going to make it really hard on yourself. You'll understand why it's almost impossible to do this solo without a reasonable amount of luck very soon when you see just exactly what I have to do. As far as things you need to worry about within the first 5 minutes of the mission, obviously you're patrolling guards, especially once you've set up with your computer. Secondly, patrolling civilians, of course. There is going to be a phone call, most likely, which means that you're going to have to run all the way up to one of these 2 office library areas. Be careful of cameras that are often found on that library hallway. Also, be really wary of floating civilians. They're the worst. Nice little quirky glitch happening because of the stairs. And finally, be aware you are going to go loud. What point you do is just best wait until you have to get past. There we go. You notice I have opened up into the second part of this mission, and therefore I run off, and this is what I call the ringing of the dinner bell. I actually get really lucky here and find Bobblehead Bob very quickly toward the front of the bank. But what the idea of this is, as the alarm goes, everybody within the bank is going to try and flood out what are the only entrances and exits, the front doors, in which case you can pick them out, find Bobblehead Bob, which you guys should of course remember from the trailer video. If not, you can see him there. He's got short hair, he's got a blue sweatshirt type thing on, and a darker black grey jacket. You can definitely tell him if you've watched the trailer for this big bank heist. Next up, you of course have to, because the assets dictate, I'll explain why the thermite isn't really an option in a minute, because we did try it like that. I thought it'd be easier. We have to set up the beast, and that of course means one guy has to go up to the top of the crane and operate. Is it Franklin the pig? I can't think of the pig's name. That's awful. But this is where the second player comes in, and you'll see the gameplay has swapped now. I'm now playing with my friend Higster, who ran the channel for a while, and you guys should remember well. So you're going to have to hold off at the roof, trying to take as much heat off your more heavily armoured. He's actually using an LMG to defend the civilian. But the issue is, if you were up here on your own dealing with the beast, most likely the civilian would be saved from custody. You wouldn't have that one up in the top right hand corner, and you would have lost your ability to do the achievement. And that's why I say co-op is the only real option. And also, if you make a mistake like this and you get downed, and you don't have the pistol Messiah perk, well, you're done. So, as if that isn't enough evidence. There's going to be lots of cutting out here, because of course, as you guys know, operating the beast is going to take you minimum 5 minutes. Remember to pick up the parts. If there's two of you, you can both carry separate parts to fix it up. We actually only have to fix up the beast once, which speeds up this whole process enormously. Also, a little bit of advice is bring AI along whenever possible. They'll soak up, they will revive. They're definitely worth assisting within this mission. Now you can see that my friend Higster has moved this civilian back behind this desk. Depending on where you'll find the vault door, just place him in somewhere safe. Don't be liberal with your use of grenades, and be careful, because the some of the civilian mobility stuff, it's a little bit buggy. He sometimes gets glitched out by stairs, ends up just sitting down again. Just be very careful with how you move the civilian. So as far as why the thermite doesn't work, at least the one we tried, we used the thermite through the top of the bank and ended up jumping into the one of the cells. That's what you should see when you use the thermite. I'm actually going to do a video eventually, I imagine, showing you each and every possibility with pre-planning options, just to show you the extent to which pre-planning is working. You'll notice as I begin to open the vault, as the 5 minutes have passed. But with thermite, you actually have to jump down. The civilians seem to be either heavily confused by that and unable to, or just that one time it glitched out. But if you both jump down, you can't get him back. The police will immediately free him, and you will have lost your opportunity to get the achievement. So thermite seems like a bit of a no-no, despite the difficulty with the beast. You guys might have more success than I have. I know we actually had a jokered soldier who was able to jump down, but civilians just don't seem quite as athletic. Bobblehead Bob is reluctantly and slowly walking his way into the vault. We sit him down in here and unlock the achievement. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this achievement guide, and enjoying the style in which I've gone forward with it. I will of course see you all in the next one, resuming Mask of the Day and my live commentary tutorials. Stealthing this mission is hard, but it will happen.